When's the best time to settle my workers' comp claim in Massachusetts? Hi, I'm attorney John Sheehan, a Massachusetts workers' comp and personal injury attorney. Since 1993, I've been fighting on behalf of injured workers and their families to make sure that they get all the compensation they're entitled to. That's a big question that I get from a lot of clients as far as when is the right time to settle their workers' comp claim. There's a couple of things to take into consideration. One of the first things is the medical treatment. When we settle a workers' comp claim, we want to know that our client is at or nearing what we call maximum medical improvement or a stable point in the medical treatment. We don't want to settle a case too early and then find out 3, 4, 5 months later that all of a sudden the client is still having problems and may need surgery after we settle the case. So we want to make sure that we've thoroughly reviewed all of the medical treatment, that the client's been properly evaluated and treated by their medical providers, and that we don't have any surprises. We know that the client is not a surgical candidate, that they're pretty much nearing an end point, and it's the right time to settle a case. The other thing to take into consideration is the types of workers' comp lost wage benefits that an injured worker can receive. For example, Section 34, or temporary total benefits, only lasts for 3 years. And if the injured worker has received the full 3 years of Section 34 benefits or is nearing the end of the 3 years, and it's not likely that they're going to be permanently and totally disabled. They're just in a situation where they still have residual symptoms, they still have limitations because of the injury that limits them as far as their physical activity, their ability to do the type of work they did at the time of the accident. In that case, we're looking at a situation where the injured worker really is partially disabled. With partial workers' comp benefits, the most you can receive as far as time is either 5 or 4 years, depending on whether or not you received the full 3 years of temporary total benefits, or Section 34 benefits. So with partial benefits, each week, each month, that's a week or month less of future available benefits. So it's a situation where as the case goes on, as the client continues to receive benefits, there are less and less remaining benefits available. So as long as the injured worker is not a candidate for some future surgery related to the work injury, and they're deemed or going to be deemed to be partially disabled, that's probably a good time to consider settlement in a workers' comp case. Now, every case is different. There are some rules of thumbs, but there are also exceptions. Oftentimes, we'll see settlements for partial cases range anywhere from 1 to 3 years of future partial benefits, but again, every case is different, and for every rule of thumb, there's an exception. One of the biggest concerns I would have as far as an injured worker goes is if, number one, if you're not represented by a lawyer and you're considering a possible settlement of your case, or the insurance adjuster is contacting you and making you an offer, you really should get legal representation. You should consult with another lawyer, because the statistics show that any injured worker that's represented by an experienced workers' comp lawyer is going to receive more money in a workers' comp settlement than if they're by themselves handling it on their own, pro se, or if they're represented by another lawyer that really doesn't practice workers' comp that much. The other concern I would have is if you're injured, you still have a lot of symptoms, you're still actively treating, and you're represented by a lawyer that is pressuring you or pushing you to settle your case before you or your doctors feel that you're able to. So it's trying to strike the right balance, not to be settling the case too quickly, too soon, maybe for too little money, or trying to delay, and then at the end, there are not as many workers' comp benefits available as far as future disability, and the case as far as a settlement the value is worth less than it would have been had you been represented by an experienced workers' comp lawyer who could advise you as far as the right time to settle. So if you have any questions about your own workers' comp case, if you're receiving workers' comp benefits in Massachusetts, if you are injured in Massachusetts, I'd be happy to talk to you. I talk to injured workers every day in my law practice. It's very easy to contact us. Either call me at one of the numbers below or visit my website. You can fill out a contact form. There's no obligation, no pressure. I'm just here to help you if I can be of help. If you find this information helpful in this video, I'd ask you to subscribe so you can receive notifications for future videos, and hit the like button and share. And I'd be happy to be of help if you want to reach out. Thanks.